If you're waiting for motivation to strike before you start working hard, you'll be waiting for the rest of your life. Motivation is for amateurs, discipline is for professionals. Every morning you wake up and make a choice. Will you be someone who works hard regardless of how they feel, or will you be someone who only performs when they're in the mood? The difference between these two types of people isn't talent, intelligence, or opportunity. It's the willingness to do what needs to be done when it needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. Successful people work when they're tired, uninspired, discouraged, and overwhelmed, because they understand that feelings are temporary, but results are permanent. Stop waiting to feel ready and start working hard while you're unprepared, uncomfortable, and uncertain. Right now, at this very moment, millions of people are sitting in their comfortable chairs, scrolling through social media, watching someone else live the life they dream about. They see the fancy cars, the beautiful homes, the exotic vacations, and they think to themselves, that person got lucky. They had connections. They were born rich. But here's what they don't see. The years of sacrifice, the sleepless nights, the countless hours of grinding when nobody was watching. Let me tell you something that might shock you. The average millionaire works 59 hours per week. Not 40 hours, not 45 hours, nearly 60 hours every single week. While most people are complaining about working overtime, successful people are putting in double the effort because they understand a fundamental truth that escapes 95% of the population. There is no substitute for hard work. Do you want to know why most people never achieve their dreams? It's not because they lack talent. It's not because they don't have good ideas. It's because they're unwilling to pay the price that success demands. They want the reward without the struggle, the destination without the journey, the trophy without the training. I've studied successful people for over 4 decades, and I can tell you this with absolute certainty. Every single person who has achieved something significant in life has one thing in common. They worked harder than everyone else thought was necessary. They worked harder than everyone else was willing to work. They worked harder than they themselves thought they could work. Success follows a mathematical formula that never changes, never varies, and never makes exceptions. It's the law of cause and effect applied to human achievement. The cause is consistent, focused, intelligent effort over time. The effect is the accomplishment of your goals. If you want to double your income, you must double your value to the marketplace. If you want to triple your results, you must triple your efforts in the right direction. But here's where most people get it wrong. They think hard work means mindless activity. They confuse being busy with being productive. True hard work is intelligent effort focused on activities that move you closer to your goals. It's not about working 16 hours a day doing meaningless tasks. It's about working with intensity and purpose on the things that matter most. Let me share something with you that changed my life forever. When I was young, I met a successful businessman who told me, Brian, most people work just hard enough not to get fired, and they get paid just enough not to quit. That's why they stay exactly where they are year after year. Those words hit me like a lightning bolt because I realized I was living that exact life. You see, mediocrity is expensive. It costs you your dreams, your potential, your self-respect, and your future. When you settle for less than your best effort, you're not just cheating your bank account, you're cheating yourself out of the person you could become. You're trading your possible future for temporary comfort. The marketplace pays you exactly what you're worth, not what you need, not what you want, but what you're worth. And your worth is determined by the value you bring, which is directly related to how hard you're willing to work to develop yourself and contribute to others. Here's a truth that might make you uncomfortable. If you're not getting the results you want in life, it's because you're not working hard enough in the right areas. Your current situation is a perfect reflection of your past efforts, your bank account, your relationships, your health, your career. They're all scorecards showing exactly how much effort you've invested in those areas. Most people have it backwards. They think successful people work hard because they're successful. The truth is, they became successful because they worked hard first. They paid the price before they got the prize. They planted the seeds before they harvested the crop. I want you to think about something. When you go to bed tonight, ask yourself this question. Did I give everything I had today? Not 50%, not 70%, not even 90%. Did you give 100% of your effort to becoming the person you need to be to achieve your goals? Because here's what I've learned after working with thousands of high achievers. The quality of your life is determined by the quality of your effort. The more you put in, the more you get out. It's that simple and that difficult. The world doesn't owe you anything. Success doesn't care about your excuses, your circumstances, or your reasons why you can't. Success only responds to effort, persistence, and the willingness to do what others every morning. You have a choice. You can choose to work hard, or you can choose to make excuses for why you can't. You can choose to push through when things get difficult, or you can choose to quit when the going gets tough. You can choose to invest in your future, or you can choose to consume your present. The brutal truth is this: your life will not change until you do. And the only way to change is through hard work. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel like it, right now. Because the person you need to become to achieve your dreams is waiting on the other side of hard work. The question isn't whether you're capable of working hard. The question is whether you're willing to work hard. Your future self is counting on the decision you make right now. Now that you understand the brutal truth about success, let's talk about what's really happening inside your mind when it comes to hard work. Because here's the thing. Your biggest enemy isn't your competition. It isn't the economy, and it isn't your circumstances. Your biggest enemy is the voice inside your head that whispers, "This is too hard. You can't do this. Why don't you just take it easy?" Your brain is wired for survival, not success. It's programmed to keep you safe, comfortable, and alive. Hard work triggers your brain's alarm system because it represents effort, discomfort, and uncertainty. Your mind interprets hard work as a threat to your survival, so it does everything it can to talk you out of it. This is why when you decide to wake up early to exercise, your brain floods you with reasons why you should sleep in. When you plan to work on your business after your regular job, your mind convinces you that you deserve to relax and watch television instead. When you commit to learning a new skill, your brain tells you that you're too old, too busy, or too tired to learn anything new. Understanding this mental programming is the first step to overcoming it. Once you realize that these thoughts aren't facts, but simply your brain's attempt to keep you in your comfort zone, you can start to rewire your thinking patterns. And here's something fascinating. Your comfort zone isn't actually comfortable. It just feels familiar. Think about it. Are you truly comfortable with your current income? Are you comfortable with your current level of fitness? Are you comfortable with your current relationships? Most people aren't. They're just familiar with their current situation, and familiar feels safer than unknown. But here's what happens when you stay in that familiar zone for too long. You start to die a slow death, not physically, but mentally and emotionally. You lose your edge, your enthusiasm, your sense of possibility. You become what I call the walking dead, people who are alive but not really living. The antidote to this mental trap is to understand that discomfort is not your enemy, it's your friend. Discomfort is the price of admission to a better life. Every time you feel uncomfortable because you're working hard, you should celebrate, because that feeling means you're growing. Champions in every field have learned to love the burn. Athletes love the burn in their muscles because it means they're getting stronger. Entrepreneurs love the stress of building something new because it means they're creating value. Artists love the struggle of perfecting their craft because it means they're becoming masters. You need to rewire your brain to associate hard work with pleasure instead of pain. Start by focusing on the rewards that come from effort. When you work hard on your health, you feel energetic and strong. When you work hard on your skills, you become more valuable and confident. When you work hard on your relationships, you experience deeper connections and love. The compound effect is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, and it works in your favor when you consistently apply effort over time. Think of it like interest in a bank account. When you deposit effort today, it earns interest. Tomorrow's effort builds on today's results. Next week's effort builds on this week's progress. After months and years of consistent hard work, the compound effect creates results that seem almost magical to people who haven't been paying attention. Here's the key. You don't need to be perfect, but you need to be consistent. A person who works hard 80% of the time will achieve far more than someone who works hard 100% of the time for just 1 week and then quits. Consistency beats intensity when intensity can't be sustained. Your mind will try to sabotage your efforts through what I call internal resistance. This resistance shows up as procrastination, self-doubt, fear, and 1,000 excuses why you can't or shouldn't work hard. The stronger your commitment to change, the stronger this resistance becomes. But here's the secret that successful people know. You don't have to feel like working hard to work hard. Motivation is unreliable. Discipline is dependable. Champions don't wait to feel motivated. They work hard whether they feel like it or not. And motivation follows action, not the other way around. Start training your mind to see hard work as an investment, not an expense. Every hour you spend developing yourself pays dividends for the rest of your life. Every challenge you face and overcome makes you stronger for the next challenge. Every time you push through when you want to quit, you build the mental muscle that will carry you to victory. Your psychology around hard work will determine your destiny. Change your mind about effort, and you'll change your life. Now that you understand the psychology behind hard work, let me teach you how to work hard intelligently. Because working hard without strategy is like digging a well with a spoon. You'll exhaust yourself without getting the results you want. There's a critical difference between working hard and working smart. But here's what most people miss. You don't choose one or the other. The highest achievers combine both. They work smart and they work hard. Smart work without hard work leads to mediocre results. Hard work without smart work leads to burnout and frustration. The first principle of strategic hard work is priority management. Not time management, priority management. You can't manage time because time manages itself. 24 hours pass whether you use them wisely or waste them completely. What you can manage is your priorities. Ask yourself this question every morning. What is the most important thing I can do today that will move me closest to my major goal? Then do that thing first, before checking email, before reading the news, before doing anything else. This is called eating the frog. And it's the difference between people who achieve their goals and people who stay busy but never get ahead. Your energy is your most precious resource, not your time. You can always make more money, but you can't manufacture more energy. Strategic hard workers manage their energy like a business manages cash flow. They know when their energy is highest, and they schedule their most important work during those peak hours. Most people have their energy backwards. They waste their best hours on low-value activities and try to do their most important work when they're tired. This is like trying to lift weights after running a marathon. Plan your hardest work when you're fresh, and save the routine tasks for when your energy naturally dips. Continuous skill development is the multiplier that makes your hard work pay bigger dividends. A person with average skills working 60 hours a week will earn less than someone with excellent skills working 40 hours a week. Your skills determine your value, and your value determines your income. Here's a formula I want you to memorize. 1 hour per day spent learning your field will make you an expert in 5 years and a national authority in 7 years. That's just 1 hour a day. While others are watching television or scrolling social media, you're investing in yourself. While they're consuming entertainment, you're building expertise. The 80/20 rule applies to everything you do. 20% of your activities produce 80% of your results. 20% of your clients generate 80% of your income. 20% of your efforts create 80% of your success. Strategic hard work means identifying that crucial 20% and spending most of your time there. Stop trying to do everything and start focusing on doing the right things exceptionally well. Excellence in a few areas beats mediocrity in many areas every single time. Master the fundamentals of your field better than anyone else, and you'll outperform people who are scattered across dozens of different activities. Time multiplication is the secret of people who seem to get more done than humanly possible. They don't work more hours, they get more value from each hour. They batch similar activities together. They eliminate activities that don't contribute to their goals. They delegate tasks that others can do so they can focus on tasks that only they can do. Every minute you spend planning saves you 10 minutes in execution. Before you start working hard, spend time planning how to work effectively. A carpenter measures twice and cuts once. A strategic hard worker plans thoroughly and executes precisely. Your ability to concentrate single-mindedly on your most important task is the key to high performance. In a world full of distractions, your ability to focus is becoming your greatest competitive advantage. Turn off your phone, close your email, eliminate interruptions, and work with laser-like focus on one thing at a time. Strategic hard work means working on your goals, not just in your daily activities. It means thinking before acting, planning before executing, and always asking yourself whether what you're doing right now is moving you toward what you want most. Here's a law of physics that will change your life. An object in motion stays in motion, and an object at rest stays at rest. This isn't just true for objects, it's true for people, careers, and dreams. The hardest part of any achievement isn't the middle or the end, it's the beginning. It's getting started when everything inside you wants to stay where you are. Most people fail not because they can't work hard, but because they can't sustain their effort long enough to build momentum. They start with enthusiasm, work hard for a few days or weeks, then quit when results don't come fast enough. They never reach the point where momentum takes over and success becomes almost inevitable. Think of momentum like pushing a giant boulder up a hill. At the beginning, you're pushing with all your strength, and the boulder barely moves. You're sweating, straining, and wondering if you're strong enough. But once that boulder starts rolling, it becomes easier to keep it moving than to stop it. The same is true with your goals. The key to building momentum is creating daily disciplines that you follow regardless of how you feel. Champions don't have days off from their disciplines. They don't work out only when they feel motivated. They don't practice only when they're inspired. They show up every single day because they understand that consistency creates momentum and momentum creates results. Your daily disciplines must be non-negotiable. When you make something negotiable, you'll negotiate yourself out of doing it. When you make it non-negotiable, you'll find a way to get it done no matter what. Non-negotiable means you do it when you're tired, when you're busy, when you don't feel like it, and when you have a million excuses not to. Here's what happens when you stick to your disciplines. After about 21 days, they become habits. After 90 days, they become part of your identity. After 1 year, they become automatic. After several years, they create extraordinary results that seem impossible to people who haven't been paying attention. But let me warn you about something that destroys more dreams than any external obstacle: the plateau. After working hard for a while, you'll reach a point where progress seems to stop. You're putting in the same effort but getting smaller results. This is when most people quit. They think their efforts aren't working anymore. The plateau is actually a sign that you're about to break through to the next level. It's your testing ground. Success is asking you, how badly do you want this? Are you willing to keep working hard even when you can't see immediate progress? Your answer to that question determines whether you join the 5% who achieve their goals or the 95% who give up just before their breakthrough. Persistence through obstacles separates champions from everyone else. When everything goes wrong, and it will, when people disappoint you, when circumstances work against you, when progress slows to a crawl, your commitment to working hard will be tested. This is when you find out what you're really made of. The 80/20 rule applies to effort, just like everything else. 80% of your results will come from 20% of your activities. But here's the twist. You don't know which 20% will produce the breakthrough until after you've done the work. This is why you must give maximum effort to everything you do. When motivation disappears, and it will, you need accountability systems that keep you moving forward. Find someone who will hold you accountable for your commitments. Join a group of people who are working towards similar goals. Create consequences for not following through on your disciplines. Momentum is your friend, but it's also fragile. 1 day off becomes 2 days off, 2 days off becomes a week off becomes a month off. Before you know it, you're back where you started. And you have to begin building momentum all over again. Let me tell you about a young man named Marcus, who came to one of my seminars 15 years ago. He was 28 years old, working in a dead-end job, living paycheck to paycheck, and filled with dreams that seemed impossible. He had tried to start several businesses, but each time he gave up when things got difficult. He was frustrated, broke, and beginning to believe that success was for other people. Now for him, during that seminar, Marcus heard something that changed his life forever. He heard that he wasn't failing because he lacked talent or opportunity. He was failing because he wasn't willing to work hard enough for long enough. That day, he made a decision that transformed everything. He committed to working harder than he had ever worked before. But this time, he wouldn't quit. Marcus started working 12 hours a day after his regular job. He spent 4 hours every evening building his consulting business while his friends were watching television. He was learning new skills while they were sleeping in on weekends. He was meeting potential clients while they were making excuses. He was making progress. The first year was brutal. He earned less than $3.00 from his side business while working those extra 20 hours per week. His friends told him he was crazy. His family suggested he was wasting his time. But Marcus had learned something that most people never understand. Hard work doesn't just change your circumstances, it changes you. By the second year, his consulting income had grown to $15.00. Still not enough to quit his job, but enough to prove the principle was working. More importantly, Marcus noticed he was becoming a different person. He was more confident, more disciplined, more focused. The hard work was building his character as much as his bank account. In year 3, his business earned $45.00. In year 4, it crossed 6 figures. By year 5, Marcus was earning more in 1 month than he used to make in a year. But here's what's truly remarkable. When I met him again at another seminar last year, he told me the money wasn't even the best part. Brian, he said, The person I became through those years of hard work is worth more than all the money I earned. I discovered I could do things I never thought possible. I found strength I didn't know I had. I built confidence that nobody can take away from me. This is what hard work really does. It doesn't just change your external circumstances, it transforms who you are at the deepest level. Every time you push through when you want to quit. You build mental strength. Every time you choose work over comfort. You develop discipline. Every time you persist when others give up. You create unshakable confidence. Hard work is the ultimate character building exercise. It reveals what you're made of and then makes you stronger. It shows you your limits and then helps you exceed them. It tests your commitment and then rewards your persistence. When you work hard consistently over time, something magical happens to your self-imbued. You start to see yourself as someone who gets things done. You begin to trust yourself to follow through on your commitments. You develop what I call performance confidence, the deep knowing that you can handle whatever challenges come your way. This confidence becomes your most valuable asset because it affects every area of your life. When you know you can work hard to solve problems, you're not afraid of problems anymore. When you know you can persist through difficulties, difficulties don't intimidate you. When you know you can achieve one goal through hard work, you believe you can achieve any goal the same way. The financial rewards of hard work are obvious, but they're just the beginning. Hard work creates time freedom because high-value skills allow you to earn more in less time. It creates location freedom because valuable people can work from anywhere. It creates choice freedom because financial success gives you options that others don't have. But perhaps most importantly, hard work creates meaning and purpose in your life when you're building something significant, when you're growing and contributing, when you're becoming the person you're capable of being. Life has weight and substance. You wake up excited about the day ahead instead of dreading another meaningless routine. Marcus now employs 47 people in his consulting firm. He owns 3 businesses, travels the world, and lives in a beautiful home that he bought with cash. But when I asked him what he's most proud of, he said, "I'm proud that I kept my promise to myself. I'm proud that I didn't quit when it got hard. I'm proud of who I became through the process." Your legacy isn't just what you accomplish, it's who you become in the process of accomplishing it. The person you must become to achieve your biggest goals is more valuable than the goals themselves. That person has the character, skills, and confidence to achieve anything. Right now, at this very moment, you're at a crossroads. You can continue living the same life you've been living, getting the same results you've been getting, being the same person you've always been, or you can make the decision that Marcus made 15 years ago. You can decide that from this day forward you will work harder than you've ever worked before. You will push through when others quit. You will persist when others give up. You will pay the price that success demands because you know the cost of not paying it is too high. The life you want is waiting for you on the other side of hard work. The person you're capable of becoming is waiting for you to start the transformation process. The success you dream about is waiting for you to earn it through sustained, intelligent effort. But it all starts with a single decision, the decision to work hard. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready, right now, today, in the next hour, in the next minute. Your future self is looking back at this moment, hoping you'll make the right choice. Your dreams are depending on what you decide to do next. Your family, your goals, your purpose. They're all waiting for you to begin. The time for excuses is over. The time for waiting is over. The time for hoping things will change by themselves is over. The time for hard work is now. Your transformation starts today. Your success story begins with your next action. What are you going to do about it?